Morning, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to Love 500, and welcome back to Project Evie. The continuing saga of Project Evie. We're leaving the back for the time being, we're going to go back to the front. Let's show you what we're going to do. So the first thing we're going to do, this wing, I didn't put this wing on very well, and it don't fit very well. There's a big gap down there. It comes too far forward here. Yeah, it's just not on very well. So I'm going to jack the car up, get the wheel off, take the wing off. I've got to take the wheel arch liner off again because I put that back on thinking that was not going to come off again. Yeah, I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to take the wing off or loosen the wing and see if we can get it to fit a little bit better. I must take that stripe off as well, as it annoys me. So obviously the bonnet, we know the bonnet doesn't close very well on this. We're going to leave the back, as I say, for the time being. That shuts now. What I want to really do now, because the grey one has now sold, I would quite like to get this one, at the moment it's sawned. So it's for those of you who are not in the UK, sawn is what you do with the DVLA. It's a statutory off-road notice, i.e. you're not driving the car, you don't have to tax it because, and in theory you don't have to insure it either if it's sawned. It isn't insured, obviously I'm not driving it, and it is sawned, so it means you're not allowed to put it on the road. I can't remember whether it's MOT'd or not, but if it is MOT'd, I want to get it so the back now closes, I want to get it so the front now closes. I can put the proper bumper on it, then I can park it out on the road then. Not all the time, but at least while I'm working on it. If it's not MOT'd, it won't allow me to tax it. But now the grey one's gone, I can swap the insurance over from the grey one to this, which I won't do at the moment because I'm on the lookout for another car now. So if I get another car which is a slight amount of damage, then I will swap it over to that one rather than this one, because this is going to take me some time to do. So without any further ado, I'm not going to bother setting you up for taking that off, but we'll come back and show you once we've got it off, got it back on again, and hopefully lined up a little bit better. Obviously we'll take the front bumper off again to do that, and then we're going to try today and see, or this afternoon I should say, I'm going to try today to see if we can get this bonnet to close and line up a bit better. It might not be perfect, but if I can get it closed, that's the main thing. And then I can't see me doing it today. I don't think I've got enough hours left in the day, but I would quite like to dress the new bumper, get the lights in, get all the chrome on and so on and so forth. As you know, I've got two white bumpers, brand new, that have been freshly painted, so they're going to look the business. The car needs a damn good clean on the outside, and I just wish you could smell it on the inside. It is absolutely minging. It is the most minging car. I've shown you this before and I'm going to show you it again. And unfortunately it doesn't actually do it justice showing you. I mean, look at the stains on the seats and the dirt on the seats. Oh God, as soon as I stick my head in there, it's just a horrible, nasty smell in there. It's not dog, it's not smoke, it's just like dirt. Whether it's coming from the seats or not, I don't know, but it's just nasty. So I want to get this done as soon as I can inside. I've got the new steering wheel now. As you know, we've got the crappy steering wheel on. Bought another steering wheel, which is in much better condition. I only paid, I think it was £30 I paid for it. Or was it 40? I can't remember. But yeah, all of a sudden one came up and there weren't any on there before. But luckily one came up and I bought it. I mean, the car is absolutely rotten from head to toe. And I have cleaned it on the outside, but of course it's been sitting around for a while. So let's get it up, let's get this wing sorted, and then we'll come back, show you that, and then hopefully we'll try and get this bonnet to close. So we will see you very shortly. Right, I've done the wing. I've been messing around, not with the wing for a long time, but the wing's much better now. They do actually, well, I looked at the other side and they do actually protrude. They're not flush with there. They do protrude there. The bonnets, I'm having trouble getting the bonnet closed again. I often have this problem and I often can't do it, and I don't really know why. When you close it, it bangs down, but it doesn't catch. I've even gone to the point of changing the catch over, because I've got several of those, but I didn't think it was that, but I just thought I'd rule that out. So what I did, the reason you got the jack, I've got the jack underneath, is I've done this before. So when you put these new panels on, I can't remember if I did it on this one or not, but when you put the new panels on, it's good practice to not have the headlights in when you do your first test fit, but to have to jack the thing up so the holes are lined up. Now I believe I did do that on this one. So when the holes are in the centre of the holes here, you know they're in the right place. And as far as I'm aware, I did that. However, what I did is I loosened all the bolts and then took the top 2 bolts out each side, and then bounced it up and down on the jack to see if I could get it higher. I did that, left it on the jack, shut the bonnet, didn't have any effect whatsoever. So basically what I'm doing is pulling the panel up, but it hasn't had any effect. Now if I sort of push it down a little bit, it's good here. But when we go around to the other side, bearing in mind the crash was this side, I've replaced that wing. When we come around to this side, it's up in the air quite a lot. And if you push it down, I mean, it does go down. There's a bit of a gap, it needs a bit of adjustment, but I don't know if it's something to do with that. The gap here is not so good as it is the other side, and the other side is the accident side. So I don't really understand why. So it's not the hinges, and there's a piece of wood there, you can probably see that I've had a little bit of manipulation. This is someone asked me about this actually, so I'm just going to put you up on a tripod and I'll show you exactly what it is that I do sometimes. And it may look a bit over the top with what I'm going to show you. However, if you take your car to a body shop because your bonnet don't line up properly for some reason, you don't want to watch what they do, because what they do is have the bonnet up and literally yank it around to sort of, for want of a better phrase, bend the hinges. Now with this one, it's not left and right so much. It's I don't know. It's weird. It's almost okay that side, certainly acceptable that side, but that side it's up in the air at the front. And what I also thought was something underneath is fouling it, stopping it going down low enough. But because the bumper's off, I can get a torch and I can look underneath, and there is nothing that I can see that is fouling it in any way and stopping it from pushing down enough. So the only thing I can think is the hinges. The hinge is coming to the end of its travel, therefore it can't go any further. So what I've done in the past, if you get a piece of, I'll put you on the tripod in a second, but if you get a piece of wood in the hinge and bounce it up and down on it, it's enough to sort of, I don't know, it moves the hinge, sort of bends the hinge a little bit and gets it in the right position. So if it can't go down enough, up enough at the front, because the hinge has reached the end of its travel, then it can't go down enough at the front to engage with the catch. So it's going into the catch and it's in the centre of the catch. The catch I've moved right up to the top, I've moved it over to the left, I've moved it over to the right, I've moved it down to the bottom and put it in the middle. Makes no difference. But every time I've ever done this, the catch has needed to go up. What I have done in the past is those square holes that the catch bolts go through, I've got a drill on them and made them bigger. I might actually get a file and do it. I haven't got a file. I might order one from Amazon, a hefty file, and get that in there. It'll be easier to do it with a file. Cut them bigger, and then you can move it up a bit. And I know the body shop have done that in the past with one as well, that they couldn't, that I couldn't get done, and they did it for me. And I know they had some problems with it. And I know they've mentioned in the past about the front panels and trying to line stuff up, and I think they've jacked the front panel up in the past as well. Whether that was enough for that or not, I don't know, but this is one bit that I hate, and I know other people have had problems with bonnets as well, but it fits pretty well. It's just, and I think if it was to close, it would be okay, but because it won't close, it's sticking up in the air. So let me get you up on a tripod and I'll show you exactly what it is that I mean that I do. So we've got a piece of wood now, that big. So I can actually take this jack out. Give me a second while I take this. Release the jack. Release the hound. Right, put this away here. I had to tidy up my garage. Now the seats have gone, so I've made a little bit of space, which is nice. Put that away. Right, I've lost my bit of wood. There it is on the floor. Okay, so this is what we used to do. I might put you around the other side actually, so you can see better. Let me move the camera so you can see a bit better. Okay. So I'll zoom you in. Excuse the camera work. I'm trying to do it with a bit of wood in my hand. Right, so where the hinge is there, I'm going to shove this bit of wood in there, like that. Bounce, just gently, like that. Sometimes you have to do it a bit more, with a bit more force. See if that's done anything. See what I mean? It's almost there, but it's just higher this side. It's really weird. If it closed, this side, the passenger side will be okay. But if I get, just zoom out a minute. I'm not even zooming out. Yes, I was. So if I get a torch underneath here and shine it up there, there's nothing that I can see that is in the way, that is stopping it from going into the catch. It's not far out, I don't think. It's really weird. Really strange. That's the only thing I can think of, is that, as I was saying, that the hinge is getting to the end of its travel, and I don't want to loosen the hinges. I hate doing that. That causes more trouble than anything. So I'm going to do that again. Let's put it in that way. Try it again. See what it's done to the wood. Oh, it's closed. I mean, it's up. Oh, I've made it worse. It's gone too far forward now. So I've managed to get it closed. Now, see, I wasn't gentle enough on it, and I've actually made it. I've got it closed, but now it's gone the wrong way. So I'm going to have to adjust it more. So it's brought it forward now. That's the problem. By doing that, it brings it forward, way too forward. But at least it's closed. So that's sort of. I say it's worked. It hasn't worked. It's sort of had the desired effect by closing it. However, it's too far forward. So let's release the bonnet, and we'll have another look. Okay, so it hadn't actually closed. I thought it had, but it hadn't. So when I went to release it in the car, it didn't release because it was already released. So what I just did then was what I need to do actually is put a cloth in there. So I'm now doing it in the opposite direction to what I was doing it before. So I'll show you. I've got a feeling this one's going to have to go to the body shop because I just cannot figure out why it's not doing it, why it's not working. So the only thing left that I can do, let me just loosen these bolts off again. The only thing I can do is make these holes bigger and try and bring up. Raise up the bonnet patch more. So that has worked in the past when I've done that. Because that's what it's like. It's like it's not, the front of the bonnet is not coming down low enough. So therefore the theory was, if you raise up the rear of the bonnet, then that automatically brings the front of the bonnet down. That's the theory. So now I'll take it off of there. So this is what we were doing. Oops, just bouncing it a little bit. Take that out. Now it's made it worse again. Oh dear. It's almost there. It's almost shutting, but you've got a very big gap. So I don't get it. I really don't get it. Just don't understand. So, I mean, it's flummoxed me a little bit, this. And these are the things that are a real pain in the backside when they just don't work, and trying to fathom out why they don't work. When you've got the side of the car that the accident was at pretty much spot on. I mean, even though that's not closed, look at that line there. That's almost perfect, that line. Even back to front is pretty much spot on as well. But the side that wasn't damaged is the side that's out. But it's sort of okay there, but not there. And that's what makes me think the bonnet is sort of, I don't know. I really don't know. It's bizarre. It's bizarre. So I think what I'm going to do is I am going to try and finish off that rear today. I'm going to put the old bumper back on. I'm going to go back round to the rear, and as we know, it does close the boot. But I'm going to have another little play with the bits at the back. I'm going to rub that down and stick a bit more filler in it as and where necessary. And I've got to put the bumper bar, the bumper bar, the plastic bumper bar. That's got to be spot welded. It's got to be riveted on, and then I think I can probably get the bumper on. I've noticed that it doesn't really fit very well there. But then the bumper is hanging out there, so it probably is all right. It's it's just because that bumper's hanging off. Lights are a bit dodgy as well. Look at that state of that. I'll probably replace that. I know what I'll do. Swap it over with Loopy Harold. But at least I've done the wing anyway. The wing's fine now. Yeah, it's really weird. Really weird. So as regards these dents down here, I'm going to buy one of those spot weld machines. We had discussions on the last video where again 2 or 3 of you commented on using filler, drilling holes and using filler, and saying I should have spot welded in the gap, and how filler is porous so it'll rot out. Now, I'm not disagreeing with what you say. You're the experts, not me. Far from me being the expert, so I take on board what you all say. But what my intention was to put seam sealer on the inside. I don't know, take the bits all out underneath the wheel and put some seam sealer, helicopter, put some seam sealer in to protect it from the weather. And then on this side, of course, my thought was that it's got paint on it. Paint's not porous, is it? Paint's not going to let moisture in. So why would it rot out? I'm not saying what you're saying is wrong. I'm asking the question why, and I'm sure you're jumping onto your keyboards now and telling me why. And I do genuinely want to know why. If you've got it filled, rubbed down, primed, painted, and clear coated, why is the water going to get in? How's the moisture going to get in there? I don't get it. Why would that rot out? Answers on the postcard. No, answers on the comments. Yeah, let me know, because I'm intrigued. I probably could Google it, but you know, I'd rather an expert tell me rather than Mr. Google. So yeah, but for now, that's what I'm going to do. I said I did do it in exactly the same place on another car about 4 years ago, and I do see that car from time to time, and I know for a fact that it's okay. So don't know. I'm not, as I say, I'm stressing, I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm not saying you're wrong, because I'm sure you're right. You know what you're talking about. I don't. However, yeah. But as I said, right, I'm going to get one of these spot welding kits. So now they seem to vary. There's some sort of 160 quid which come in a box, and then there's some others which are £67 or something which don't come in a box. You get a little bit more bits and pieces, but the actual machine itself looks exactly the same. So basically you spot weld little hooks on, and then you use the supplied slide hammer to then pull on those hooks. And that would be a better way of doing it rather than drilling a hole. And then all you got to do is obviously grind down the spot welds, fill and paint as necessary. So I think, bearing in mind I get a lot of these things, and I think this was probably done by the Copart driver. Although we saw him on the video loading it from, was it from the back or from the front? No, from the front, wasn't it? I reckon at some point they picked it up from the side. You can see that there's what looks like fork marks underneath. And then we got one on this side as well. The one on this side actually has got to be banged in more than anything. So what I'll probably do is use my porter power on the wall and push it back in. And that'll probably do that one. But yeah, that's the other side. But you know, I get these things all the time that I have to do these types of things, so I think it's worth my while. I'll probably go for the 60 odd quid one rather than the 160 odd quid one. See what it's like. I'd say the machine itself looks exactly the same, but the kit in a box with a few more other bits and pieces, which is mainly like the hooks. You get more of the hooks, but it's more than double the price. So in fact it's 2.5 times the price. So we're going to go for the cheaper option first, as it looks as if the actual thing itself looks exactly the same. That's the plan. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this bumper back on temporarily, turn the car around, reverse it back down, and actually I might as well just leave it where it is and put the boot up, and then we're going to have another go on the back of the car, see if we can improve that a little bit, and then get the new bumper on, and then hopefully that will stay on, and then that'll be the back of the car done. And then if I've got time today, I'm going to start tackling that inside. I want to get that inside clean. I cannot stand that smell any longer. It is disgusting. Got to change the steering wheel, but I just need to get those seats cleaned. I'm back to work tomorrow, so I'm not going to be able to do it till next week otherwise. But so if I can't get it done till next week, I can't get it done. So I'm not giving up on this entirely, this front. However, I may take the car to the body shop. I don't really give a monkeys about this car at the moment, speed wise. This car is going to be my now and again project until it's done. So if I have to take it to the body shop and it sits there for a month, so be it. I'm looking for a car. I bid on 3 yesterday, didn't get them. I almost bid on a car today, but it was too far away, and the price went for too much. And the old spot welding thing would have been ideal on that one as well, but that wasn't to be. So I would like to think within the next week I will probably buy another car. So I've got a few days to work on this, and then I can get onto the body shop and get him to do it. He's done it before. I'm sure he'll do it again, and he'll probably charge me somewhere between 50 and 100 quid. That's what he charged me for before. He's charged me 50 quid a couple of times. Obviously if he has to do too much work drilling holes and moving stuff around and that, then he'll probably charge me a little bit more. But they always come in. Sometimes they have come out perfect, other times they shut fine, but they're not perfect, and you know, the gaps aren't perfect. But I think where we are here, we're almost perfect one side, so that sort of helps. And then what I'm going to do, I think, if I can find some old lights and just bung them in those holes, put the grill in, so at least with that bumper on, at least it looks like a proper bumper. And it can drive the car once I'm just hoping it's MOT'd, but if it's not, I'll have to just drive it down there anyway. No, I didn't say that, no. So yeah, I'm hoping it's MOT'd, and then at least I can tax it and get it driven down there once then I can obviously insure it as well if it's I'm assuming it's MOT'd. I'll have to have a look, actually. I think it is. I hope it is. Yeah, and then we can leave it down there and then get on with the next project. So that's the plan. So we're going to have a little go at the back. I'm not going to bother filming that because we've shown you most of it. And it's just me sort of titivating it to just make it a little bit better. So we'll come back when we get on with this inside. I think that'll probably be the next thing to get a little bit done. And try and make it a bit fresher inside, because it is absolutely minging. Right, so what I've done is just to put these on here temporary. We've drilled holes through the broken lugs. The holes have already been drilled in here previously. Each one of these lights has got one good lug on it. So the light has actually been secured on both sides. And I'm not going to bother plugging them in, but they're in position. And we've got all the other trim already on. I mean, it's a right old ropey bumper. However, this bumper will probably be used at some point in the future. Oh, mind you, it's got a big hole in it. So I could repair that, and then it can be used in future as a proper bumper. But for the time being, it now looks, to all intents and purposes, like a proper bumper. It's got lights in, even though that one's not got a bulb in it, and neither of them are wired in. Grille, trim, everything on it, so it can go on the car, and which will allow me to drive the car without drawing attention to myself. So that's good. So I'll probably leave those on there, those lights, actually, for future reference. At some point I'll probably take those off because I'll probably need them, but at the moment, job's a good one. So I guess, right, we put the lights in, again, temporarily. Lights fit in perfect. It's daft, isn't it? It's really daft. Wish I could figure out what's causing it. It's really a pain in the backside. Anyway, let's get this bumper on. So what I'll probably do is, I'm not going to do it just now because I am going to order a file and have another go and see if I can file these down and try and move in and see if we can move that up a little bit, just to see if that does it. It might do, it might well do, but we'll slot this in for now. Slot it in the sides, and when I won't bother doing it now, but I will at some point. It's all bent over these tabs a little bit. See, this headlight's not in the best position, so it's got a tab missing. It will go in, that's it. That's it. So if and when I have to drive it, I'll just put a couple of bolts in the top. But as you can see, that bumper fits fine. Actually, apart from this side. It's funny, isn't it? The good wing again is perfect. Sorry, the new wing is perfect. This one isn't. But I'm sure that will nip up. Actually, you know what? Don't know. Maybe that wing has been replaced in the past, not very well. But you know, that's the least of our worries at the moment. We don't need to worry too much about that. We'll cross that bridge when we come to it. I just want to get the damn bumper to close, bonnet to close. So, for the time being, let's see how it closes or not closes, as the case may be now. And then we're going to go around the back. And I took these out. I took these things out because I thought it was these that were stopping the bonnet closing. Wishful thinking that was. So that's as good as it's going to be, I'm afraid, at the moment. You can see it's up one side, can't you? You can see that side is much more up in the air. Stupid. Don't get it. Really don't get it. It's too far forward, I think. It's like it's got to go back further. Weird. I'm not going to give up on this. I'm going to try a bit more. Not just going to give up, but at the moment I want to get the rear done, and forget about that, so we can get that bumper on, and get it clean inside. So for the moment, I've had a go. I can't do it. I'll come back to it, and if necessary, it'll go to the body shop for them to do it. I don't like doing that, as I say, but if that's what I need to do. Did I connect those lights as long as the indicators work at the front? Oh, I've disconnected the battery, so not to worry. Anyway, so we're going to go around and do the back now, see what we can do with that. So anyway, where were we? Yeah, so got the new bracket on. or second-hand bracket that came off of one of many cars that I've taken these off of. Some of these I've sold as a set, and some of them I've kept. Yeah, I think that is much better now. I gave it another whack. I tried to find a club hammer and chisels, but I couldn't find them in my shed. They're in there somewhere, but my shed's almost as big a mess as the garage. So I've improved it, and it seems to shut much better actually. And I adjusted the striker plate as well, and that seems to, I think it shuts acceptably now, you know. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and get the other bumper, and I'm going to get that on, and hopefully we can get that on, get the lights back in, and that'll be it for that. Obviously I do still need to do that, but that'll be, it would be easier to do without the bumper on, but I am going to do it with the bumper. I'll just mask it off and do it. So I want to get this bumper on, and everything shutting as it should do. I did put a bit of paint on that underneath, you know, the burnt bit. I put a bit of paint on that, so that's protected. So I think we are getting there. It's a shame about that front not being able to get that done, but I'm going to go and fetch the bumper out of the garage. Hopefully it hasn't got destroyed. And I think there was a little tiny bit of damage to it actually, which I wasn't too pleased about, because it was advertised as not being damaged. I can't remember where it is now, but I think it was on an edge somewhere. But I've had it a few weeks now, and I should have really got onto the people that I bought it from straight away, but I haven't. So just have to accept what it is. If it needs a bit of paint on it or something, so be it. But let's go and grab it, and then we'll offer it up and see if we can get it on. Yeah, so this is where I got it from, Cinetic. I bought quite a lot of stuff off them, and they're always really good. They get it really quick. Now this was advertised. I think the pictures of this were on the car. Now whoever it was took it off the car, obviously lost their rag and has yanked it, and they've obviously damaged it in doing so, which is really annoying, because I've got to fix that now. And on the other side, they were going to lose their rag, but I'm going to have to cut that off now, because I can't get that out. The bolt's connected to it, and I can't get it out the other side. So it's really annoying, the fact that I bought a perfect second-hand perfect bumper. As you can see, A-grade bumper, and it's not, because of that. So when it was on the car it was A-grade, and because whoever it was took it off the car was lazy and lost their rag, it's now damaged. But just something I've got to do, something else I've got to do, but c'est la vie. So I'm going to, we're just going to clean it up on the top a little bit, and then we're going to offer it up and see what it looks like. I've got to try and get that. I'm going to go getting that bolt out. If not, I'm just going to take an angle grinder to it and cut it off. We'll do that now. Right, where was I? I just recorded 12.5 minutes of me talking to someone at the top of the road, but I won't include that on the video. I was in the middle of doing this, and I got a call from someone who I've never met before at the top of the road. I think this is unscrewing. I'm not sure if it's just going round or not. No, I think it's doing something. Oh yeah, it has come unscrewed. Oh, that's good. At least that means I haven't got to cut it off. If I'll keep that, actually, it might come in handy for something like that. Well, these are I guess these are the same ones they put in the wings, because when you buy a new wing, you don't get these. These aren't in it for some reason, and you have to try and sort of. I know you can buy these types of things. I've forgotten what they're called now, but you can buy these, and I think there's a little tool for putting them in. This one looks like it's been bonded in actually, but it's probably quite a handy thing to have. Not that I get new wings that often, but when I do, it's worth having. Anyway, I'm going to clean this up, and then I'm going to offer it up and well, clean it up on the top, just on the top bit of it. Offer it up, and hopefully it will fit. So I will be back very, very shortly. Right, I'm hoping that that dodgy bit on the end just slots in, and I'll just get a bit of paint on it. That's what I'm hoping, whether it does or not. Right, let's slot this in. This is another job I hate doing, trying to get these things in properly. I often get them in the wrong place. Come on. Challenging sometimes. Oh, see what I mean? Bloody things just fall off. I've often, so sometimes when I shut the boots, I'm never sure whether it's gone in properly or not. That's it, I think that's in. I think. I don't know. Oh God. Right, let's see how this fits in. That's not too bad actually. I think if I don't know if you can see it, I reckon if I heat that, yeah, I reckon if I heat that up, push it back in, and then I can get a bit of paint on it, that'll be right. That'll be fine. I think that's in. Yeah, this side doesn't fit very well actually. I don't know if that bracket's broken that side. I think once I get the bolt in, it'll be alright. But that is an improvement. I think I've done that when I don't think that was like that. I think I've bloody well done that. Damn it. Never mind. I'll soon fix it. But yeah, it's done slightly better than it was. So I think I'm going to get the bolts in and find them. And hopefully it will go in, the lights will go in and the boot will close properly. And I just need to get that scuttle panel type, whatever you like to call it, thing on. I'll show you this side, it doesn't fit in very well. Nope. But it'll probably be alright, I think. Once I've got the bolt in it, it will hold it in place. Right, that's that. These lights are crap. I will definitely need to replace this light. It's rubbish state of it. Absolute state. It's got moisture in. There's so many little not chips, but they're on the inside. It's really weird. I should be using my drill for this. Oh, the sun's come out again all of a sudden. Right, screw these in. Oh, actually, I don't remember connecting it. I don't think I did I? Oh, I did. Oh no, I didn't disconnect them, did I? That's why. That's why I don't remember connecting them, because I didn't disconnect them. Silly arse. La la la, one there and one there. Oop, oh, I've dropped it. Oh, I need a beer or something. I have no idea what the time is, but it feels like it's beer o'clock. Right, let's see if this closes. Shit. Oh no. Why is it not closing? That was closing. It sounds like it's hitting the bumper when I'm shutting it. There's no gap down there. Now it did this on the old bath. And the bumper wasn't in the correct place. Like it appears it's not here. Oh. Okay, right, so what we'll do is we'll take this light out again. And then we'll have a little fiddle about with the bumper. It looks right, but they're a pain, those brackets. I don't know why they're like that. But I'll do that off camera and then we'll come back. Right. So the bumper is in the correct place. I think what it is, I think the hatch is very, very slightly too low, which is probably why it wasn't shutting properly before. So I think I need to try and adjust I think that gap is probably a little bit too big, so it needs to, the whole hatch needs to move up very, very slightly. It's not a lot, a couple of millimetres at the most, probably not even that. There is a very, very, very slight gap that side and not that side. Now that is the hatch, that's nothing to do with the striker plate or anything at the bottom. So the bumper's gone in fine now on this side, I just hadn't put it back in properly. So the bumper is definitely in the right position. As I said, on this bit, this damaged bit, I'll heat that up, push that back in and then get some paint on it, it'll be fine. It's annoying, but it'll be fine. And then we'll touch that up where it's got a few scratches. I think that was my fault where it fell over on the driveway. Annoying, but there you go. Yeah, so that's not too bad. So I'm not going to do that now because I've just seen that it's coming up for 5 o'clock. 1, I need a beer. 2, the sun's out, and 3, I'm cooking dinner tonight. So I'll add those 3 together and I won't be doing any more car stuff. So the only other thing I'm going to do is get that off, that stripe off, because it's annoying me seeing that. Your eye is drawn to that stripe. So I've done the wing. I've adjusted the bonnet a bit, although we can't, as you know, we can't close it. We've got this done, but still work in progress. But we've got it much better now, so it doesn't shut properly as such. It opens fine, and you have to, because it's hitting the. So this is exactly the same thing happened on the Abarth when I put the bumper on incorrectly, which I obviously changed. As you can see now, that rubber is very slightly lower there, but that's fine. It does the job. And it does close. It closes with a bit of a slam, but the slam noise is where it's hitting that, and it will wear the paint out on that as well. So once I've moved it slightly up, it will be fine. So I don't know whether to do that on the hinges. The problem, now I'll show you the problem I had actually. So it opens and fine. It's not catching. So on here, there's very, very little movement, if any. On these, I think there probably is. The problem is I can't get anything on them. So I need one of those flexible things that I can get in and loosen those and then move them back. It's got to be moved back a little bit. Failing that, I've got to take the whole thing off, and I don't want to do that. So yeah, so I think that's what we'll do. I'll get myself. I did have one, but I think it got broken. I used to use it when I was taking the dash out on the bolts on the dash that are under there, because obviously the windscreen was in the way, and I think it just where the bolts were up tight, it just was knackered. So we are starting to get there on this, slowly but surely. I'm going to clean all this stuff off as well, get that sticker off. I want to get it clean, dying to get it clean, and hopefully smell free, but that'll have to wait till next week now, hopefully. Oh God, as soon as you open the door you can smell it. It's horrible. I think what I might do is take these seats out, clean them out of the car, and then give the carpet a going over as well, because I don't know where the smell's coming from. I say it's not a wee smell, like it's not a dog being, it hasn't had dogs in it, there's no hair anywhere. It's not a dog smell, it's not a wee smell, it's not a smoke smell. It's just a horrible, dirty smell. It smells like an old tramp, like an old tramp's armpit, a street drinker's armpit, as I said earlier. So, yeah. Oh, I'm going to put this panel back on over here. So I'm quite pleased with the progress today. Quite pleased. I would have liked to have been able to shut the bonnet. Then I could have insured it and taxed it and got it out on the road, but ain't going to happen, unfortunately. Not yet, anyway. Maybe next week. I forgot I was going to do this today. Boiling water. You've seen me do this so many times now. Let it soak for a minute, for a few seconds. And we're going to do it, I don't know if you can be able to see this properly. I know you've seen it all before, but get an edge. Bum, 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 bum. Ow, hot. Get an edge and pour. Oh, it snapped. This is quite an old one, I reckon. It's been on there for some time. It's leaving a lot of glue behind. Ow. Still easier than using a hairdryer, that's for sure, or a heat gun. This is being very stubborn, this one. Just keeps snapping. This don't normally happen. Typical, isn't it? Let's try the other end, start on the other end. Oh, ow, just burnt me. Oh dear, I burnt my arm on the kettle. Lucky I didn't swear then. Ah, right, here we go. Right. Once you got it going, it tends to come relatively easily. Trouble is when you pour it over the bit that you've just pulled, it sort of wants to snap. So you have to be careful. Yeah, it's definitely a factory fitted one, this one. And it's been around for a while. If you keep moving your fingers towards the front, because if you keep your fingers at the, like where my fingers are now, then it will snap. There we go. Keep your fingers near the car as you pour and pull. Pour and pull. That's what you have to remember. Pour and pull. And keep your fingers out of the way. Should have started at that end in the first place, shouldn't we? Now it has left quite a lot of glue behind. There you go. Quite a lot of glue has been left behind, but the isopropyl alcohol will get that off. Zoom in on it. Quite a bit of glue there, isn't there? But I'll just go and get rid of the kettle, and then we'll get the IPA on it and I'll remove it. Right, now this stuff should take it right off. Look at that. Wish I'd had this stuff when I did, remember the 300 pounder, if you were around on the channel back then a couple of years ago. Was it a couple of years ago? Was it last year? Don't know, I lost track. Actually, it isn't getting off as good as I thought it was going to. I may have to use the rubber wheel as well, if I can find it. Yeah, I'm going to use the rubber wheel, I think, because it's not getting it all off. Oh, I hate the noise this makes. If you're wondering what this is, some people call them a toffee wheel, presumably because of the colour, or just a rubber wheel, and it's basically a rubber wheel, which takes glue and stuff off, as you've seen. It's good. I used it on a car. If you look back at my, I'll put a link up to the car now. Actually, it was called Project 300 pounder because the hammer price of the car was £300. Plus fees, it was 400 and something. But it was the cheapest car I bought, and it had these stripes down both sides. One of which was really faded, so I decided to take it off completely. But yeah, I'll link to it and go and have a look. That was where I discovered these wheels. and it was quite time consuming, but it does the job. When you think how long it's taken me just to do it on this wing. Right, I think that's it. There you go, done. All done, all gone. Ta-da, as if by magic. It's better, isn't it? So yeah, it's much better. It's starting to get there now, isn't it? So if you look from this side, it looks like, almost looks like the bonnet's closed. But it's actually starting to get there. Go around the back with the new bumper, with all the bits of stickers taken off. And it closes. Don't look too closely that side, but I'm actually, for the 3 or 4 hours I've spent on it today, we're actually getting a bit of progress now. Shame about that bonnet, but we are starting to get there now. We've even got the cleaned it out in the back, and we've got the back seats back up now. Just, oh, that horrible smell. I think it's mixed with the smell of an air freshener as well, which doesn't help. You know what I'm like with other people's air fresheners. But it's just horrible. Someone commented before about these marks on the side here. Is it going to need the body shop? It's actually sticker marks. So I reckon that this was a company car. So you've got a sticker that comes up here, up the windscreen, and goes round. So as Alex suggested, might be an estate agent or something like that. So that's obviously what it was, and they've removed the stickers before it went to the salvage yard, I guess. Not very well. They obviously didn't use boiling water. But yeah, I reckon that's what it was, company car. Probably why it was so disgusting inside, as a lot of company cars are. But it will be a nice car when it's finished. I'm starting to get a bit more positive about this car now, because I was getting a bit negative about it, but I'm starting to get a little bit more positive. Once I've got that nice new bumper on, which I will do next week, regardless of whether this goes to, I might not put it on, but if it does go to the body shop, I will just make sure it's ready to put on as soon as I get it back from the body shop, and then it will be, should hopefully be MOT, and probably going to give this one a service. I don't think I've got any service history for this one at all, actually. I can't, you know what, I really can't remember. I don't think I've got any books with it at all, so I've still got to track down the service history, which, as you know, I've showed you how to do on one of the previous videos, which I will link to now, in case you need to know. And then it will be gone, this one. So yeah, I am feeling a bit more positive about it now. But anyway, as I said earlier, before I took those stripes off, I'll see you on Monday or Tuesday when we do that, get it clean inside, and I'm going to put the old fog machine in, and hopefully we can get it smelling a bit half decent as well. Until then, see you soon. Here I am in Loopy Harold again, at the dump again. As you can see, got tree branches and lots of wood in the back. This is still my van. It's behaving though. There's still got that rushing noise behind the dash. So there's obviously still air in the coolant system, but I mean, it's not a mega hot day today. It's, what is the temperature? 21 degrees and cloudy. But I've driven here, obviously up to normal running temperature, and I've been sitting in this queue of traffic going into the dump for a few minutes. I don't think the fan's even kicked in yet. So it's obviously done the trick, but I still want to drive it around for a bit longer just to make certain. And I'm not gonna, yes, I am driving in moving traffic, but on private road. Oops. I want to make sure that rushing noise is gone. I don't want air in the system before I buy it, and I do want to make doubly sure. Well, I'm going around corners now, or bends now, so I'm going to sign off. So yeah, here we are, Loopy Harold again. You know, no video is complete without some Loopy Harold in it, and this is your portion for this video. Laters.